Got the garage cleaned up.
And she knew Tommy that was just here. Tommy was like, he's more of a racing than Eric is.
He's like, man, what's little Canon, man?
Toretto?
Back in like 99, around 99 or so. And started that off. We've been going ever since.
All right, again, y'all, I'll give you the rundown. This is the B20 that was the B20 B4 that was out of the Honda CR-V that I've got, first generation. And unfortunately, the transmission took a dump. So you've probably heard me talk about that before. It's really far from home. Transmission took a dump up in the mountains, and well, there it is. Source this B20B, which has about 140,000 less miles than mine does, out of the junkyard for less than 500 bucks. So, so far so good. This is checked out compression wise and rotates freely. You know, kind of did a nice inspection and did find a couple of bonuses here. So I think the previous owner actually took care of this engine pretty good, because when inspecting this, we found that a lot of the gaskets were still very firm, in really good shape. They weren't hard or cracked or anything like that. You can't really see it now, but because I've kind of painted over it already. But this oil pump was really shiny. Like, this metal was really clean. So upon a little further inspection, when we pulled the front pulley off, I found that the front main seal looked very new, along with the oil pan gasket, valve cover gasket, and a few other, you know, gaskets along there, as well as the timing cover gaskets. And you don't see that too often. Now, this one was reused. It does look pretty shitty, but all these other ones look pretty good. So we know that that service has been completed. The timing belt was actually in really good shape too. So I've got, you know, kind of crossing those fingers that this was actually a well-kept motor. As far as the compression, compression was about 130 across the cylinders. It was in variance of about 6 to 8 points, which is acceptable. And so we're just going to run it. And during that time, we'll try and take it easy on that. And then, you know, again, this will get the rebuild with all of the D&J parts. And this. Haha, that's right. So that's the old B16A head off the Civic from the SI. I have kept that for, you know, since, unfortunately, the original engine block got a big old hole in it. So B20V, VTEC for the CR-V. Later on, possibly a little boost. We'll see where that goes, but that won't be coming until this is done, at which point this engine will go into the Civic. We'll get that turbo, all of these parts that you can basically see here, and yeah, that should be a whole lot of fun. All right, y'all, so it's a new day. We got to go to the junkyard today, but unfortunately I have to do some like real world work for what I do for a living. So gonna be driving down to St. Augustine, getting some of that work done. Might brush my hair today, maybe not, but definitely will be working on the CR-V. So after we go to the junkyard. Because apparently there's a new Civic that was there the other day. It's probably stripped down by now, but we'll see what we can find. Man, I could be out there fishing. Alright, so got that 2U battery backup installed. Getting the servers back online. Just got back. Come check out, see what the neighbor's up to.
You're so close to it. Dude, you're like...
Alright, y'all, back in the garage. Getting ready to start putting stuff back in the CR-V. So, and also just give y'all a quick view of what we picked up today when I was actually out of the, out of the garage. You know, it's kind of cool in Florida from time to time, so I picked up one of these from the direct outlet store over in St. Aug, so picked that up for $100. And then also picked up an ECU, a P06 ECU out of salvage on the way home, and then a Portaband saw also from the discount store for like 90 bucks. So can't really go wrong there. And today, so priority today is to get all the power steering stuff back in here, cleaned up back in here, get the engine mounts back in. We had issues with that one. The holes didn't line up, so I actually had to cut, you know, tap those holes out some on the actual mount to get it to center properly. So that's done. Getting that bolted in, of course, the side mount, the torque mounts rather. But again, the power steering is what we're gonna get finished up today, and then as long as everything looks good from here, we'll go ahead and drop the motor in. Alright y'all, so this right here is the rack and pinion worm gear, and that's where your high pressure line goes and your return line comes out on top. Now you can't really see it, but that's got a pretty large threaded nut that goes over the line, and that thread there can get galled up or messed up. So how you fix that is just use a small file. See if this will focus. Try and focus. Focus, focus. Here we go. How about that? There we go. Just use a small file like this, and that'll help clean up your threads. So, as you can see, it's reinstalled. Back on. Alright, y'all. If y'all noticed too, there's also an O-ring that goes on the end of that high pressure line. Always recommend replacing O-rings whenever you come in contact with them. Good grief. There we go. So anyways, you can pick up a kit like this off of Amazon. I want to say I got this from O'Reilly's when I used to work there many moons ago, but these are still good. Replace all your O-rings. Alright, engine's ready to go in. Our light burned out on us, so gonna have to make do.
John burned it.
Yeah. Ben over here doing the dirty work. Someone's got to shine bolts.
Why not shine bolts?
Anyway, so the engine's in, but we're just trying to get a position to where we got to get the 3 mounts lined up. So here we go. So the T-bracket is the big bitch. If you want to look down here, this is the one that's the biggest in trying to get that lined up because it's on the side. Well, about got the fight going, but we got the B20 back in the CRV. No, it's really hard to see, but it's in there. So we'll continue with this tomorrow when we got some daylight. All right, main event, got Joseph Benavides.
Oh, I have. You guys.
Who y'all got? Who y'all got?
I got the other guy for
I have the other guy. You have the other guy.
this guy. I got. There we go. I got the guy with the lightning bolt. He's got lightning bolts in his hair. He said. In his hair.
Are you picking the guy with the white hair or the other guy?
I have Benavides.
Well, who is that? I don't know the name.
That's the guy with the lightning bolt.
Honestly, I don't know.
So,
That's the
But
blonde
I'm going with that says.
You got dollar?
I got $1 on him.
alright, so I'm going with the opposite guy.
Guy with the crazy
So
hair.
either lose $3 or gain $3.
See what happens. Well, cleaning up these mounts real quick because they were coated heavily in grease. Looking a lot better now. Still a little bit of grease, grime in there that we need to get out because these are going to get primed and painted. Totally forgot about these things. Meant to do it a couple of days ago, but didn't. Still sitting there. So that looks pretty good. Oh boy, it is bright out here. Let's try and focus that, get that all balanced. There we go. Good job, Canon. Anyways, you can see that engine mount's looking all pretty. About to bolt it in, but we're cleaning up the bolts. One thing I highly recommend that you'll always do is clean your bolts, man. It really doesn't take a whole lot of effort, and it makes life 1,000 times easier. And then always, 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 always anti-seize your bolts. So, anyways, I'm gonna get back to that because that's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna clean up the bolts for that rear mount. Alright y'all, so what we're going to do with the power for replace the fans on the radiator, but salvage the plugs So this way we just solder those bad boys in, because really that's the best way to do it. You don't want to use like connectors and all that, because over time corrosion will build up in there, and soldering is going to be your best method of doing this. So, but beforehand, you always want to just go ahead and, you know, get you some shrink tubing, and go ahead and sheath it up, and go ahead and put it on there beforehand. Otherwise, you're going to need to cut that and redo it all. So, but what I like to do is I like to have the independent wires, and then again, I like to heat shrink over those connections. All right, see when it's done. Man, we got cool friends that will do like the dirty shit too, that's fucking cool.
The dirty.
And then you have the friends that come over to get you to fix their shit.
I'll fix my own shit. You weld, I don't weld.
Dinner time, y'all. You got anything left on the grill?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Alright, Lucas, alright.
I'm going to give me a...
Fact that Bluetooth, I'm pretty confident I can.
Up to what, you always have tears in your eyes when John drives away?
Alright, y'all. So, you know, got the engine back in, as you can see. You know, we kind of did that up yesterday. I finished kind of getting everything buttoned up on the right side. We're going to maximize the height of the shock, and then we'll run it from there to see what kind of room we have to play with. Anyways, the harness is really, really nasty. So cleaning this up, going to rewrap all of it. So that's going to take some time. And then hopefully we'll be turnkey by the end of the day though. And so paint should be here too, so we can touch up the manifold and what have you. We'll kind of paper wrap everything off. You'll see. Cedar, what's up, girl? Here's my little painting backdrop that I made for the CRV. There you go. Alright, here's the mock-up of just the shield put in place so you can paint something in place so you don't get any overspray unnecessarily anywhere you don't want. There you go. If y'all were wondering, there's the inside of the motor. Looks pretty good. Nice golden 130 or 40,000 miles. Just rewrapped the entire harness. Sorry the lighting sucks, y'all, but there we go. Alright, y'all, got the wrinkle red valve cover kind of curing. Got the heat kind of curing that thing with a little speedy process. Hopefully that'll turn out good. CRV's coming about. Getting the harness put in, replaced a lot of the clamps to high pressure clamps. Guess it looks good. Getting there. Slowly. But that's because we're taking our time, cleaning everything. Ugh, this fucking garage. God. It's gonna take a lot of cleaning. We don't want videos on cleaning. We want videos on building and fabbing and shit like that. Valve cover is on.